Good morning, everybody. I'm just giggling because since we don't have the tech team here, by tech team I mean Josh and SJ, my husband's taken over, and Freddie doing all of the technical stuff. That means that we come live to you in the mornings, and Freddie is in charge of the countdown, and he takes it very seriously. So yeah, I've had quite a few 10-second countdowns this morning. But we're here, so whether we are actually here or not, I couldn't tell you, but in 10 seconds, that's all good. Good morning, how are you? This is, yeah, I'm looking forward to this show. And not, does that sound funny? It's, I was chatting to Emma, who does all my counts and everything this morning, and just saying, you know, this is a subject that needs to be talked about. I'm not sure I'm going to be any good at talking about it, but luckily we have a quilt that says it all. And this particular project was drawn to my attention by my friend Gemma. And she was talking about her friend Della, who she said is absolutely lovely and does so much for charity. And she's down in Cornwall, actually, and they do something called the Relay for Life. Now, I'd not heard of this at all, and a lot of you might have heard of the Race for Life, and that has big supporters like Tesco and people like that, big sponsors. And but I hadn't heard of the Relay for Life. Now, the Relay for Life is a sort of weekend-long event for families, for survivors, and it's all Cancer Research UK. But I hadn't heard of it, and they say that it's one of the best-kept secrets, if you will. But once you do Relay, you always do Relay, and it's been going for like 20 years. It's a long-established thing, and I hadn't heard of it. And obviously, this year there is no Relay. Because of our situation. So whilst everyone is busily worrying about COVID and everything else, Cancer Research is still doing a fantastic job. And I would hate for it to not have the fundraising because our attention isn't there right now, because this will pass and you know, Cancer Research will still be needed. So, and I think it's very dear to a lot of our hearts. I don't think that you can talk to anybody without them having been touched in some way by this horrible disease. So, when I heard of Della's quilt, I said, well, let's get it on the show. Let's do it. And so she has created something called the Quilt of Hope, the Rainbow Quilt of Hope. And yesterday I said the price will be £5.99 and £5 will go to Cancer Research UK through Della. And then I had a word with myself. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I keeping 99p back for printing? And so, no, that's wrong. And as I said it yesterday, it didn't feel right. So the whole lot, the whole £5.99, I'll do all the printing and everything. That's on me. The whole lot will go to Cancer Research through Della, through her Quilt of Good Hope. The whole lot will go to there. So all of the money, when you buy one of these quilt patterns, and it's English paper pieced and it's rainbow, so it's very a la mode, I'm going to say, a la mode. It's very relevant for so many different reasons right now. So if you buy the pattern today, that £5.99 will all go. It'll all go. I'm not going to keep a penny of it. It all goes to Della's charity, Quilt of Good Hope, which all goes to Cancer Research UK. So if you can support this, she's an incredibly kind lady, and she's actually just finished. Instead of doing the 24-hour relay, which is what the relay is, she's actually done a 24-hour quiltathon. So I think she's a little bit tired and catching up. So yeah, this needs 7 fat quarters or long quarters in rainbow colour. Okay, that's what that needs. So I've got a couple of bundles there for you. There's brights, there's muted. They're on the website. Now, this was what I could come up with at sort of short notice. This is, I think Emma called these soft, but it's long quarters. And the one you will use most of is the red, and then you'll get more and more left over as you go along. So these are all on the website, www.natashamakes.com there. And if you click on Watch Live, everything that is on the show is underneath there. Of course, peruse the website. There's loads of lovely stuff on there. But do also check out deals. Everything that you see on the show today is going to be underneath where we are live. Now, these are the brights. So they're not the same shades. I don't know if I can just show you that they're like that. They are actually, this is the beauty of the Salt Batiks. They are actually all different shades. So these ones are slightly brighter, and I have to thank Inga for putting these bundles together. And that, again, all these things, they just fall into place, don't they? She finished cutting the other day. She's like, I've just been having a little play with the fabrics. She didn't know we were going to do this quilt at all. Didn't have a clue. But she just so happened to have put these bundles together. I was like, well, that's absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. I just had to add one into that, and that was it. They were her choice. So that's your brights. That is your soft, and they're all on the website. Now, I've got some orders to fulfill from a rainbow show that I did last week at Hochanda, and whatever I have left over from that, once all of those are fulfilled, I will add to the stock. But I can safely say that the stock I've put up on there, no problem. And I'll see if I can put some other bundles together as well. But like I say, until I've cleared all those orders, because of the bank holiday, they only come through this morning. Until I've cleared all those orders, so I'll get onto that later today. But for now, what I've got is what I've got. And then if any more comes along, then great, keep an eye. A note on the website, do please keep an eye on the website, because something very exciting has happened here. We've basically outgrown our space. Because of the situation at the moment and trying to get you your orders. When I started Natasha Makes, it was going to be mainly 99% drop ship. Now what that means is that the suppliers, I pass the orders on to the suppliers and they post out for me. So there was no need for warehousing, none of that. I didn't have to hold stock here. I didn't have to do order fulfillment or anything because it's me. It's just me, and I was planning shows and everything else. So then obviously the virus happened, and I was getting some really long wait times on some of the products. So the only way that I could see round that to try and keep a good service for you, because warehouses were shutting left, right and centre, was to bring stock in-house. And that's what I've done, which means that I now need somewhere to put it all so that I get my home back, basically. So we now have a warehouse, and that's very exciting for us. So for the back end of this week, we are going to be taking ourselves into our new warehouse, and that is ours. We have bought that, which I'm really proud of, in the space that it's taken to grow our business from scratch. And it's taken a lot of time and effort and work, and long days. You know, I make no bones about the fact that I get up at 4 o'clock every day to make all of this happen. So yeah, and my team that work, I call on them all hours, bless them, and they rise to that challenge. So I'd like to thank them. But what does it mean for you? What it means for you is that I don't want to have to lump half the staff from here to our new warehousing. So what that means is throughout the week, as I sort through everything and start to take it across, there will be little goodies up for sale. So the first thing was I hold quite a large stock of creative grids, because they were one of the warehouses that initially shut down, and they're open now, so I don't need to hold as much stock here. So if you would like, and it's very, very, very rare to get any kind of discount on creative grids at all, we just don't do it, but there's 10% off only the stock I hold physically here. Everything else is still absolutely available. It just means that I put the order in, they send it to me tomorrow, and then I post it out to you. So it doesn't really delay anything, but now they're open, I can do that. So yeah, there's 10% off the stock because I don't need to hold that here anymore. So that's great. If you'd like to take, that's under the deals page on the website, down there, natashamakes.com. Okay. How are you lot this morning? More to the point, let's have a look. Oh my goodness, lots of lovely messages. So good morning to Kay, to Gemma, and actually Gemma, thank you, because you were the one that put me in touch with Della in the first place. Ali, good morning to you. Congratulations on becoming a great aunt again. Julia's there, and yeah. Helen just heard Freddie. There's a lot of countdown going on, Helen. He takes it very seriously, and he's been helping Stephen with his pizza deliveries. He didn't get out of the car or anything like that. He just has the what do you call it, chart thing, and he ticks off when they've delivered stuff. So he tells everyone he's a key worker. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Tina. And good morning, Della. Hello, hello, hello. And Claire as well. Oh, as you've all heard Freddie this morning. He's got a good set of lungs on him, that boy, hasn't he? Much like my daughter as well. Good morning, Amanda and Valerie and Geraldine. Freddie's getting a lot of love this morning. Ellie says, happy Tuesday. Do you know, it's a good job I do these shows, so I would have absolutely no clue. There was meant to be a different half to this show, and it completely didn't happen because I forgot it was a bank holiday, so I couldn't get stuff here in time. Juanita says you are definitely on. Yeah. Definitely. Josh is watching. Morning. How's your hand? You got bitten by a dog in the park. That's no good, is it? Good morning, Naomi. And Cassandra, good morning. And Donna, good morning from a sunny North Devon. Beautiful. Morning, says Michael. Bit of sanity in all this madness. Oh, that's Karen. She's on somebody else's profile. I can't promise sanity. I can't promise that. Paola's watching. Good morning, Paola. And yeah, hello. Gosh, so many of you. Oh, Claire says Dad cancer nearly 11 years ago now. I know. I hear you. So yeah. What a morning. So thank you everybody for watching, and if you can support our Quilt of Good Hope this morning, I will print them out, I will send them off to you. Then here it is, Della's written it. I haven't changed it at all. This is exactly how Della sent it to me, because it doesn't need changing, it's perfect as it is. So that will go off to anybody that buys that, so please do support that. I've bundled what I've bundled fabric wise, but I don't want you to feel like you have to buy that, because I'm sure that you will have scraps at home that you can use. Obviously if you do, then great, but you know, this wasn't about that. This was about supporting that. If you are new to English paper piecing, then it is a lovely slow stitch. It is a traditional English form of quilting, which is lovely, and it's lovely to support. And I feel that this has had a real resurgence recently with sewing channels and things like that, bringing it to the fore. Oh, it's my cup of tea. Nice. Hang on, bear with me. So for those of you that have never English paper pieced, let me show you what I have. Now the quilt calls for 1.5" hexes. Now everybody kind of measures hexes in a slightly different way. There doesn't seem to be, certainly this has been my experience, there doesn't seem to be like a uniform way. Some people will measure down that and say that that's the size of the hex, in which case that's like an 1.5", but some will measure across, in which case that is a 2.5", 3" hex. So some will go along the widest bit. So there doesn't seem to be one uniform way to measure them. So what I wanted to show you today was what will work with that. Now I stock House of Alistair paper pieces. If you have paper pieces at home, or you've got something like a Cricut or a Scan and Cut or anything like that, you can cut your own hexes. You don't need that. You don't need any of this. But if you don't, or you just can't be bothered, quite frankly, that's also completely viable. Then the reason that I stock these and not other ones is because you get the full page, and I wanted to show you why that is so so special. So this is the pack. This is your 1.5 inch hexes that you will need. Oh, they're the half hexagons. Hang on, where's my full hexagons? Oh, I've split them all up, haven't I? Hang on. Here they are. These are your 1.5 inch hexes. I'm going to pop this on a close-up so that you can see. Here you go. So this is why they are different, because you get the whole pack. Can you see? There you go. So yes, you get the hexes, but you also get the diamonds in between and the half diamonds down the edge. So actually, you can see down there everything that you're getting. You are getting. And this is all on 180 GSM, and also it's recycled paper as well. So that's the other reason that I go with these. 120. Now you don't even need 100 for this project, so you'll have loads here. And of course you reuse them. 1.5 inch hexes. You get 84 of the 60-degree diamonds, 42 half diamonds, and 24 3/4 inch triangles in that pack. And that is why I go with these. And I'm going to show you as well. So on the website, and again, these will be where we're live, there are lots of different options, and I don't want to bamboozle you. We also have, if you want to, you know, up your game a bit, Liberty pre-cuts as well. And the 1.5 inch Liberty pre-cuts correlate with the 1.5 inch pre-cuts there. Okay, so they will go hand in hand together. So we've got 1.5 inch, 2.5 inch, and 3.5 inch hexes. We also have 2.5 inch squares. Ooh. And therefore triangles or half diamonds or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, squares if you want to play with those. I've got those on there as well. I have got... Oh, now this is a fun one, and we're going to have a little play with these, but in a bigger one so you can see. These are your half hexagons. Ooh, when would we use half hexagons? But again, you get the diamonds, you get triangles, you get all of that, all in there. And you get sheets and sheets of it. And they come in 1.5 inch, 2.5, 3.5 inch. So you choose the size that you want. Also, quite rare, you don't really see, are the pentagons. There you go. And that introduces all sorts of other triangles and exciting shapes. And you get those in different sizes. Hooray. In fact, there we go. I can tell you. You get, there you go. You can read that, can't you? 4 sheets of, so you will end up with your medium pentagons, 24 small pentagons, and 16 large pentagons. And then you get your 3.5 inch hexagons, 1.5 inch hexagons, 2.5 inch hexagons, all in this. So this is like a one kit does all sorts of different shapes and sizes. Remember, you reuse your English paper piecing. Don't throw them away when you're done. No. So yeah, we've got the whole hexagons, the half hexagons, diamonds are a girl's best friend, and half diamonds as well. They're gorgeous, the diamonds, actually. I really like the diamonds. So if you're just after diamonds or half diamonds, then we've got those in 2.5 inch half diamonds, 60-degree diamonds. Right. They are there. Let me put those to one side. Getting organised, everybody getting organised. Right. I might come back to those. So yes, also, if you're going for the hexes, so I've got 1.5 inch, 2.5 inch, and 3 inch Liberty pre-cut hexes. Ooh, look at that. Is that not just utterly beautiful? Yep. So there are those packs as well. If you fancy, you know, getting your liberty on, and having all the hard work done for you. We're not judging. Enjoy. So for those of you who have never English paper pieced, let's look at how we do that. I've got rid of all my packets. I now need them back again, don't I? Because I'm going to actually need some hexagons. Here we go. Hang on, let me go with a bigger size so that it's easier for you to see. What have I done with them? What have I done with them? This is the trouble, there's so much paper piecing going on. 2.5 inch hexes, let's go with those. Right, now remember your pattern calls for 1.5 inches, so they're all there. Oh yeah, no, look, you're all coming through with Ali says, how do I get to the page from here? www.natashamakes.com. You go onto the tinternet and you can find it from there, my love. Morning, Laurie. Morning, Laurie. Oh, thank you, Penny. Thank you. Love your jacket. Did you make it? No. No, I didn't. But I don't think it would be a difficult one to make. Right, let's pop out some of these then and see where we're at with these. So they are perforated already, so they do come out nice and easily. And if you have never English paper pieced before, oh, it's just delightful. When I was pregnant with Emily, I did a lot. I did an entire quilt, which I still can't find. How have I lost it? I'm hoping that in the warehouse move, I will find it and be able to show you it. Only because I need to actually finish it off. All of the front is done. I've just got to actually now finish it off. So get your scraps or your fabric or whatever. Della gives you all of the cutting instructions in there. You can just cut strips and work it from there. For the rest of us, here we go. Pop your fabric onto there. There we go. Should we do this so that we can all see? There we go. And I cut a little bit more than 1/4 inch. And that's Tula Pink's fault, because she does too. And I always used to cut 1/2 inch, and I was like, oh, actually, having just that little bit more just helps me. It's personal preference. But when she did, I was like, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, hang on, that's not mine. I do believe someone might have left that from yesterday. Right, okay. Move my cup of tea out of the way. Sorry, this is mornings for you, isn't it? So, you will need, you can mark out, by the way, you can mark out around, get yourself one of the fabric pens and mark out around. That one's got 3 different colours. It's got grey, it's got pink and it's got white, so you've always got a colour. They're really good. We've got the refills back in stock as well now. But this one, this is your Soline glue pen. This glue pen was designed especially for English paper piecing. Now, if you don't want to use a glue pen, Alistair does give on the back of all of his packets instructions as to how to baste with thread. Which is the traditional way, but then glue came along, and and so this was just easier. So Soline discovered that, here we go. Soline discovered that actually there was a need for a water-based glue that would not be permanent, and that we could use with our English paper piecing, that could be removed, that would wash out, be non-toxic and all those sorts of things, and just all-round brilliantness. Now this goes on yellow, you can see that, or blue. There is all sorts of different colours. In fact, with the refill set, I think they come in all different sorts of colours, and it doesn't matter because it goes on a colour and then it dries clear, so it doesn't mark or stain your fabric in any way. And just putting a little bit along that edge and then folding it across, using the edge of that paper to give me a nice crisp edge, and that's it. Let me show you that again. So if you are a little bit worried about cutting freestyle that's okay. Or if you, what do I do with me? Oh, there we go. Or if you want to measure it out or anything like that, get yourself one of your pens and just draw it on. You can draw it roughly if you want. Mark it off. But believe you me, you will soon just get used to going, snip, snip, snip. I should really press that fabric, shouldn't I? It's got a bit of a crease in it. So cut out your hexes. I think in her pattern, Della gets you to cut squares and then trim back, which is very sensible. There we go. Now, what you can do, if you want, is just put a little dab of glue on there like that, and that just holds it in place. Like I say, when you've done loads of these, and believe you me, I have done hundreds of these, then you just get used to it and you'll absolutely fly. What I would recommend is having an evening where you say to your other half, no, you choose the movie. We'll watch anything you like. And then you just sit there and make up a whole load. I just put a tray on my lap and just trim them back. So along that edge there, you do not need much, okay? Do not be heavy-handed with this. Look, there's just a tiny bit there. Just along that edge, fold it down. And then, can we see if I do it there? Sort of. Push against the edge of it and use the edge of the paper as you push along. So again, and I'm just catching a little bit of glue on there so that as I fold that over, that stays. And then again along there, but it really is a tiny amount. It's far less than you think you're going to need. So again, we're looking quite neat. So again, a little bit just along there, and you see just a little bit on there. Just use your finger to press it down, and then on this bit here, I just put glue all the way along like that and press down. Crisp. Crisp and perfect. There we go. So that's how you would use the glue basting. It is very addictive, and I always make sure, look, this is my little English paper piecing pouch. So there are a few things that I always make sure that I have in my pouch, and the very first thing is refills, because I get a little bit addicted and I just keep going. A couple of other things I always keep on my English paper piecing pouch, and this has been everywhere with me. This was the pouch that I would take to hospital with me when I had my daughter or I had appointments. It's just made out of washable paper, and but it has all of everything that I need. It's got my thimble pads in there, it's got my needles in there, it's got the leftovers from a quilt actually in there. Oh, and a Liberty thing that I'm doing at the moment as well. It's got that project in there, and then this and this. So this is my thimble pad, and that's just it's a little piece of suede that you put on your finger instead of a thimble. Now, if you want a thimble set, I've got these, and these have gone on the deals page for you today as well. So if you would like big scissors, snippy scissors, pins, and a thimble, then there's 10% off that today. It makes a lovely gift actually as well. And they're really lovely. And those little snips, oh yeah, so those little snips also live in there with it as well. But I've only got limited stock of those, by the way. So I have my little snips and my glue. Now this is meant to go on your sewing machine. It's your Thread Magic, and it's a thread conditioner. Now this is how it should come, in a big pot like that. I'm going to have to get some more of the little ones, but basically you run your thread through it and it coats it so that you get less tangle. It strengthens the thread, and it just protects it, and it means it glides through, and I don't hand sew without ever first pulling it through some Thread Magic. I absolutely love the stuff. Really, really good stuff. So also what I've got for you are the ultra thimbles, because if thimbles don't ever quite be in the place where you need it to be, or you're doing lots of hand stitching, then the ultra thimble is fabulous. And it's this little metal bit here. So it is, let me show you. It is an actual thimble, but you have these little sticky pads and then you stick it to exactly where you need it to be. And then I've got the adhesive replacements. But I've done an entire quilt and not got through all of these. So they are really sticky, but if you think that you might go through or you might lose them, just get the replacements. There is a bundle of the replacements in there with them, because they're not readily available everywhere, is the thing. And then these are the thimble pads. So look, you just peel one off. Like I say, they are really sticky, so I just re-stick it onto there. So I know that on my little kit, I've always got that on there. That's just me. That's because I like to try and keep, where possible, in a very busy household, stuff together. So then how do we sew them together? I know I've shown you this before, so we're not going to necessarily, but I need some thread. There we go, needle and thread. But for those of you that have never English paper pieced, there we go. So if you just want to run it through your thread magic, pop it through and literally just pull it through. Done. And that's it, coated. So hopefully it won't tangle. Now, right sides together. And I'm going to try and do this over here. Tina, can this be added to my order from yesterday? I've already processed them this morning, Tina. I've already started going through them. So no, you're a bit late, I'm afraid, for that, because I get up early to fulfill orders and prep shows and stuff. So use your card as a guide, and you are literally just going to go through the top threads. Okay, I don't know if you can see that there. Just through the top threads. If you are going through a whole load of card, you've gone in too far. Now I then go back on myself. So I start a little bit away from the edge and then I just go back on myself just to secure those stitches. And again, you can just see there, just that edge. And then I'm going to lay that thread along there, so that then when I come back, I'm going to just encase it, so I don't end up with loads of threads and my thread is then held. And you will get quicker at this. Obviously I'm doing it at a slightly awkward angle so that you guys can see. There are such things as English paper piecing competitions, and they say that you can, it's okay for where you've stitched to be seen when you open it out, because it is a hand stitched piece. But can you see that thread, that end? Ooh, which way? Hang on. Let me get this a little bit closer here. There you go. That end along there is going in underneath where I've stitched. So along there, and again you will do it at a non-awkward angle. And if you have trouble gripping your needle for whatever reason, get yourself some needle grippets. They're on the website as well. I could do with some actually this morning. I've got some hand cream on. There we go. Oh, come on. Focus, 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 focus. There. And then you just whiz your way along as you go. So let me just do that because it's not looking very neat because I'm trying to do it at such a funny old angle for you. But then you don't end up with basically threads here, there and everywhere, and it just keeps them in, so you don't have to do lots of knotting or anything like that if you don't want to. So you can do them as neatly as you wish. I'm obviously just going to whiz through and do this quite quickly for you. And just excuse me. Are you having a good day? That's what I want to know. It's nice and sunny, isn't it? Freddie's put his new watch on today. I say new, it's not new to him, it's just he had it when he was a little bit too young for it. And so he's been saying to me all morning, Mummy, how long are you going to be? How long is your show today? I don't know, Fred. I don't know, Fred. Why? Well, because I need to know, right? Now, the beauty of these thimble pads is that if you haven't got it quite in the right place, just take it off and replace it. And what it means as I go along is, and this is with any of the thimble things, I went with the thimble pads, but push that, you can, hang on. I use it to push through. So if you're quilting as well, if you're hand quilting, can you see? Now that is on my, that's not going to hurt my finger as I push through. And it just makes life so much easier as I go through. Now, as I get to the end, I tend to do that little thing of just hooking through and knotting it that way. But look, when you open it up, yes, you can see my stitches, doesn't matter. When you add the next one on, and I'm going to have to prep hang on, bear with me, I have to prep another one now. When you add the next one on, just be aware that you will have to bend the card, and that's okay. That's why it is the weight it is. It's never as easy as just prepping. Give that a little press. Did I put my glue away? I was actually that organised. So that's the other thing. If you're just freestyling it with the old cutting, then a little bit of glue just holds it in place so that you can then just trim around, should you wish. I wasn't very yeah. When I find you my English paper pieced quilt, I will. It took me the full 9 months. I will show it to you and I'll show you the back of it as well. I'll show it to you before I quilt it, because it's not neat on the back, although I think it is equally beautiful from the back, because you do get all these nice folded edges, and that you really can get some speed up when you do these. Right. So when you come to do the next one, and again, you'll be right sides together. So say that is going to go into there. Say. Then I can actually carry on stitching, and I don't have to finish off as I go. I can just so what I can do, here I am, I finished stitching there. I know that that's going to go, oh, where am I going? There we go. I know that's going to go onto there. So fold it down, and then I can just then stitch along that line there. Okay, but then when I need to, so that will then be all great there, but then I'll need to come to that one there, and that will be stitched in place there. So what I'll do is I will fold that one in half, fold it in half, and then I'll be nice and neat to then stitch along there. So don't worry, this is just card. It's just a light, very, very lightweight card, and it will come out eventually anyway. So don't worry at all about folding it out of your way to make it easy for your stitching. That's what I would say to you. And then when you come to take it out, just get a needle in underneath and run it along, and then just pull them out. But wait until, so I'm not going to take that actually out, wait until you are surrounded on all sides before you take out that. Then what I would suggest you do before, and this is what I did before I took out all the English paper piecing on mine, is press them. So you've got that really crisp edge, and I pressed from both sides, and actually I got my best press as well, and I gave that a quick squirt just to make sure that all of those edges were really crisp, because you will have edges that will be free around the edge. So for me, what I did was I got my best pressed, and then how crisp that is, then I can actually, and I'm just going to do this to show you. You can then take these out and it'd be okay. They will then retain their shape. So get an old needle. Don't use a new one. You can peel them as well. So this is why you're not putting on too much glue, because you do want to be able to remove them easily at the end. So it's freshly glued as well, which doesn't help. There we go. And take out your template. Obviously yours will be sewn on all sides. But there you go. And then I would just give that another quick press. But the fact that it's got best press on it means that it will hold that shape. So that's taken out, but it's held its shape. And obviously it will be sewn on all sides. And that's just what I do. Now, you guys have asked me for best press. So I have put an order in for some. And that should be here in the next day or so. I went with the big bottles. So there are two different sizes. There's that size. I did not go for that size. Hang on, let me find you the other one. Completely forgot about this. Oh, I gave Gemma the big one. And then there's a bigger bottle, which is like, I think it's double that size. Yeah, I went for the big one because it's far better value for money. And I got it in the 3 different scents. One of those is unscented, if you will. Now, so that's your basics on just how to actually stitch your English paper piecing. But like I say, if you've gone for these, then sometimes what do I do? What do I do with the diamonds and stuff in the middle? Well, look, how about having a look at doing some stars. So if you are going to do your diamonds, then sew along there and along there. So you'd sew along there, fold it out, sew along there. This is how I would do it. And then do the same, sew along, whoop, sew along. And then you've got a nice straight edge to then sew along there like that. Well, that'll be under there, won't it? There we go. And so you can do a rainbow star with your 60-degree diamonds. You can do that. Now the half hexes. Oh, the other thing that you can do with the diamonds that I'm not sure everyone knows about is, and I've got to remember how to, like this. Do one like that and one like that. And then if you go across like that, you can do, I'll spin this around for you like that. You can do English paper pieced, look at that, tumbling blocks. I love the tumbling blocks. There you go. So you can get that 3D effect from it. Oh, Helen says, hi Natasha, it's my first time in to see you. Well, hello. So that's how you can work with those. You can do stars, and if you do the stars, then just roughly do that for you there, like that. Then if you get the corresponding sizes, then you can fit other shapes in there as well. Or, you know the half diamonds? They can fit in there. And you can then, so these are the half diamonds that are down the edges. I haven't done this very neatly, have I? So you can imagine you can start to get all different shapes. So, or if you just want to finish something off, or you want to just really emphasize that star, so you might do these little bits in white. But again, this is why I go for the sheets that Alistair does, because you get all these little extra bits that just fill in, and you don't have to try and work out how it all goes together. There we go, in like that. In like that. Oh look, you see I even started to prep that one.